Memorial Day weekend. So I don't know if saying Happy Memorial Day is appropriate. There's many different pieces to Memorial Day, but we are in remembrance and recognition, certainly. So welcome. I'm so pleased that all of you have joined us, those of you here in the room and those of you with us in our Zoom room. I'm just in deep gratitude, and we have a service today that is focused on service and focused on remembrance. Okay, and so I felt a lot of busyness a few minutes ago, and it feels so beautiful and peaceful right now, and I know that's coming from each of your heart. I can feel that. So I thank you for that, because I was feeling like I was buzzing, and now I feel peaceful, and I know that's emanating from you to me and to each other. So let's just take a moment and pray, opening this service in deep gratitude and love and appreciation for all that is. For we know that we are, each of us is an integral piece of all that is, and all that is the divine, the emanation of the divine, moving in, around, through every interaction, every being, every piece of this great universe and multiverse and beyond. So that includes me, it includes each of you. We are all one. We are in unity. We are in unconditional love. And that is our purpose for being here today, for sharing it with each other, that unconditional, beautiful, perfect, divine love. That is the truth of our being. And we are here in remembrance of that. And we know that this service unfolds in that love and in that appreciation, and all unfolds beautifully and perfectly in divine right order, in timing that is absolutely perfect. We just hold that feeling of stillness and perfection within our heart. Please join with me in saying thank you, and so it is.
Thank you. So it is.
Great, thank you. Hi.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. It's my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision, and no one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision. It's my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision, and no one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God my decision right here and now. It's my decision right here and now.
Choice and choice and choice and choice and choice and choice. Beautiful. Yep. Thank you. So, as you know, it's one of my favorite prayers in the whole service. And you'd think I'd have it memorized by now, but I don't. Or I'll get halfway through it and go, So, I don't see anybody here for the first time. So what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to turn aisle to aisle and give this prayer to each other, okay? Anybody on Zoom, if there's anybody on Zoom for the first time, put your hand up, put a heart up, and this prayer is for you, okay? If you'll repeat after me, welcome to the Center for Conscious Living. We are a heart-centered spiritual community. We open ourselves to you in love. We recognize the perfection of God within you. We celebrate the joyous being that you are. You are a radiant point of light. We are blessed by your presence. Welcome home. And now we're going to do an affirmation. If you'll repeat after me. I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and peace. I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and joy. I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and complete health. I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and abundance. And so it is.
Here's an original for you. Got a bunch of covers for today, but this is the one Bousquet music piece. It's called Authentic You, Authentic Me. Who did we come here to be? Authentic you, authentic me. Love, who did we come here to be? Authentic you, authentic me. We're weaving our world, feeling our way to the good life that we claim today. Weaving our world, feeling our way to the good life that we claim today. Light of my light, sometimes I sleep, unconscious thought in the driver's seat. But every time our sacred light is there under stress and strife. Oh, over and over, new sun is rising. Here's my lucky clover, sweet love surprising me. Over and over, new sun is rising. There's my lucky clover, sweet fires of burning truth. Let's focus on the dream and let the God light through. For who did we come here to be? Authentic you, authentic me. Love, who did we come here to be? Authentic you, authentic in our world, feeling our way to the good life that we claim today. Weaving our world, feeling our way to the good life that we claim today. still. Conscious creation, our will as God's will. And all this time, the sacred light knows us as precious in its sight. For who did we come here to be? Authentic you, authentic me, everybody. Oh, who did we come here to be? Authentic you, authentic me. Oh, who did we come here to be? Authentic you, authentic me. Love, who did we come here to be? Authentic you, authentic me. We're leading our world, feeling our way to the good life that we claim today. We're leading our world, feeling our way to the good life that we claim today.
Very nice.
Thank you. Okay, oh my goodness. Good morning. Guess I'll come here like Reverend Paul. The reading for today is Illumination from 365, Science of Mind, by Ernest Holmes. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be lifted up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Psalm 24:7. The gates we have to open represent the place in our consciousness where the divine flows into the human. The light that the saintly artists of medieval times painted around people, particularly the halo, represents the lifting up of these gates. Illumination or cosmic consciousness is a reality. This is what Jesus referred to when he said, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." Today, I lift up my consciousness to the light, and I know the King of glory will come in. Today, I keep this inner light, this candle of the Lord, trimmed and burning, for I know that the bridegroom, who is Christ, my true self, will enter my consciousness. I know there's a divine radiance emanating from everything. I know that in this light, which emanates from the very center of everything, there is no darkness at all. In this light, I shall see the light. There can and does descend into our minds, embody and personify in our person a divinity, a unity, the Spirit of God, the direct incarnation of the original thing in us, the mystical presentation of Christ. The Science of Mind, page 341.
You should wear red every day. Little Ricky Byers for us all. She's my favorite songwriter in the New Thought realm. You I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than the earth and the stars or all of creation. God is creator, all in all, needing us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Command my hands, what must they do? Command my life, it's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new. And God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. And God needs us to shine its light as me. And God needs us, yes, shine its light. God needs us to shine its light. And God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do.
Thank you, Sharon. I don't think I need to say anything. I think we just follow the music and the theme unfolds. Here it is. So I'm really grateful for our musicians, Sharon and all of our musicians, because each one of them is deeply connected with spirit, and that's why everything unfolds so perfectly. And I feel that every Sunday, and I'm feeling it in this moment. So happy Memorial Day. It's a bittersweet day, isn't it? Right? Because, we're remembering the fallen. We're remembering those who have served our country and, given their lives in that service. And there are many different emotions that we experience in that remembrance. And it makes me think that, we experience these same emotions in other aspects of our lives, when we lose others in our lives who may have not have been in service to our country, but in other ways have been in service to life and to humanity, which we all are, each and every one of us. So that's really what I want to talk about here today, those feelings and those emotions, and processing some of them, and being in honor and peace and gratitude. And I want to give gratitude and honor to Ernest Holmes as well, and to Janine's beautiful reading of that passage, and to the musical selections that Sharon has intuited today, because really the point of everything here today in this service is remembering who we are, the truth of who we are. And, Ernest Holmes knew that. And he came from a Christian background, so he talks about Jesus Christ and the Christ consciousness. And those of us in this room who have taken foundations class, we learn about the Christ consciousness, right? And that is really our higher self and our awareness and connection with that truth of our being. That we are humans walking through this world, and we do what we do. And as Sharon sang for us so beautifully, we take inspired action when we are called to do that. And that is certainly true of our veterans and those who have served in the military. When we get into trouble, that's when we're not taking inspired action, we're taking human-driven, ego-driven action. And we get out of alignment with the divinity within us and the calling and the divine inspiration that really guides our life. And that's why we're here, to learn how to do that. I think that's a big part of why we're here, is to learn how to walk this human walk in a way in which we're aligned moment by moment with divine inspiration and guidance. And that's our learning experience here. And we all fall away from that. And that's when we go into suffering and despair and anxiety or grief sometimes. And grief certainly is an emotion that is very valid on this day today and tomorrow. Because probably each one of us knows someone who has served this country in the military in some way and either lost their life or has come back home and really experienced whatever it is they may have experienced in adjusting back into civilian life. And the extreme aspect of that, of course, is PTSD, which can go on for a lifetime. But if we think about war, right? War is really it's a global misalignment in consciousness. If every human being on this planet, including our leaders, were in that place of inner alignment, guided by truth, I personally don't think we would be at war. I think we would be at peace with each other, and we would find nonviolent, peaceful, loving ways to interact with each other, with the planet, and we would behave for the highest and good and the benefit of every person and every living being on this planet. So I think that's what we're here to learn how to do. And I won't comment on the state of the world right now and where we are in that process, but I think we all can see what's happening around us. So what can we do, each one of us, right? I mean, we all know, right? We can just be within ourselves. And, if you think about it, it sounds like that's not much. I don't have much influence on the leaders in our country. I can write emails to my representatives and do all these things, and there is influence in that for sure. But we can think that we're not powerful beings. But that's not the truth. Our power comes from that connection and from the way we walk through the world and influence each other. Right? First and foremost, in devotion to that one life that is our truth, and that is our eternal life, and that is beyond this human experience, the birth of it and the death of it, because we existed before in spirit, as an emanation of spirit. We start walking around as babies, start being babies when we're born, and then walking around this planet and behaving like human beings, and there comes a point where we exit this body again, and we're back in pure spirit. But the truth is that while we are here in human form, who am I? I've talked about this many times. The most powerful question in the universe is, who am I think. And we could spend a lifetime just asking that question and going deeper and deeper into knowing the truth of who we are. And some of us in this room know people or know of people who have done that. And Anne is a perfect example of that. She's been to India and experienced that herself. But we all can do that, every one of us. Right? So what is the point of what I'm talking about and being in remembrance on Memorial Day? Because, if I think of veterans and people who have died in service to this country, how can I reconcile that with my inner feeling that, I want humanity to be at peace with itself, right? With each other. And how do I reconcile those two? And how can I be what Janine expressed so beautifully in Ernest Holmes' reading, that Christ consciousness, when I see suffering and I see killing and I see violence? How can I be that? One of the things I love about Ernest Holmes is he was raised as a Christian, and he became a divine science minister, and which is very similar to religious science. It's a new thought teaching. And his brother was a Christian minister, so he came from a Christian background, very steeped in the teachings of Christ. And then as he became an adult, he became exposed to other teachings. Ralph Waldo Emerson is one. Both of them grew up in New England, so he knew of Emerson's teachings, and he became exposed to Thomas Troward, who lived in India, and he was a British person from England. And so Thomas Troward exposed him to Eastern teachings, right? And later on, he studied under Emma Curtis Hopkins, who really was a true mystic. And she herself was very steeped in universal teachings in all traditions through the library that her father had. And then she went out and became, in the late 1800s, early 1900s, she became the teacher of teachers. And she taught many, many people throughout her lifetime. Ernest Holmes was one of them. But the thing I like about Ernest Holmes is that he saw principle in all teachings, all authentic teachings. Right? Authentic means that the teacher or the teaching came from that alignment, that inner alignment with the divine. Whether it's expressed through the Christ consciousness, what we as humans call the Christ consciousness, or other teachings, whether it's Kabbalah or it's through Buddhism or Hinduism, there's a divine alignment in all the teachings. And Ernest Holmes saw that, and he recognized that, and that is how he created the science of mind. And that's what we're all here to practice. And going back to my question of how do I reconcile my feelings and my belief that we should be nonviolent beings in the world with the reality that, we go to war and we honor our soldiers, we honor our veterans. And one of the teachings that helps me reconcile it is from the Bhagavad Gita, really one of the oldest teachings in the universe. It goes back 5,000 years or more. Right? It's a Hindu teaching. And it's an epic and a saga, really, of a prince and a warrior named Arjuna. And he was facing a dilemma to go to war against his cousins, who were being very aggressive and warlike and trying to take over the kingdom that he had inherited from his parents and his father. And he was the rightful heir to that kingdom, and his cousins were actively working against him. And he was faced with the dilemma of, should I go to war to protect my kingdom? And the Bhagavad Gita is the story of his his interaction in his own mind and with the divine presence of how he should resolve this divine dilemma. It really was a divine dilemma. And the Bhagavad Gita tells the story of his conversations with Krishna, who is the divine manifestation in human form of, of truth, of the divine. In the end, Krishna came to the conclusion that he needs to follow divine guidance. And even sometimes going to war can be the right thing to do in the right circumstances. And it took a whole saga and a whole, discussion with divinity to come to that conclusion. And what was part of that discussion? It was really being in a place of alignment with truth. So that means being a free being in connection with myself as a free entity, not being bound by human constructs, right? Not being in service because this is what I'm supposed to do because humans are telling me to do it. What is my conscience telling me to do? Right? That's really what freedom is, and I am free to choose. And we as human beings walking on this earth, what's our most valuable asset? It is our freedom, really, as human beings, our freedom of choice. So that was one component of his decision, and Krishna advised him about that. Freedom, and along with freedom goes the idea of justice. What is the just and right thing to do? Is it to sit back and let my cousins take over my kingdom? My cousins who are warlike and coming from a place of non-alignment, shall we say, right? And human egoic intentions, right? So the point is, when we make a decision, even if the decision is I need to go to war to defend my country, am I doing it because it's the inspired divine choice? Or is it because I want to grab more land, or I want to hurt other people, or I'm angry? Two choices there. So that's the second piece. Beyond freedom is justice. What is the right thing to do? That can only come from inner alignment. And that's the third piece, alignment, connection with the divine. I have said many times in here, I have quoted Jesus saying, he was asked in the Bible, in the New Testament, before it was right before Easter time, before he was going to be crucified, and he was asked, what are the most important things for us to know? And he said, there are two things, but really there are three, because the second thing had two components, and the first piece of it was, above all, love thy father. Father is spirit. There are many different words for father in the Bible. Jesus referred to Father as the divine, the all, the everything, what we call presence, we call divinity, we call truth. It's everything. It's the spirit that underlies all existence, all life in this human physical world and beyond, right? This is the eternal life within us. So first and foremost, honor thy father. Be aligned with the truth within ourselves. Secondly, love thy neighbor as thyself. Well, the two pieces of that is we can't love our neighbor if we don't love ourselves. So we must love ourselves. And that is a journey in itself, because many of us don't. And I have to include myself in that. I have had a journey in my own life to learn to honor and love myself. And I suspect many of you have also in this room, right? Once I can love myself and recognize who I am, that question of who am I, and know that I am an emanation of divine presence, of the Father, once I know that about myself, then I can love all beings in the universe, all people. I can love Mother Earth. I can respect all beings, all life, and I nurture it, and I care for it, and I protect it, right? So that's how I can reconcile supporting a soldier going to war with my innate feelings that I really believe what Gandhi said, peace and nonviolence, and that's the way to be in the world. We each have our own path. You know, I have a nephew who's in the Army, and he decided in high school to be in the Army, and his parents brought him up to go to college. And he just dropped this revelation on them one day is, I don't want to go to college. It was right before graduation. This young man is an Eagle Scout. He's a very accomplished young man, but he wanted to join the Army. He just signed up again last year for his second three-year stint, and he's about to become a sergeant. He hasn't been to war, but he's coming from that divine awareness within himself. And I don't think he thinks about it that way. He's only in his early 20s, and I doubt he goes to church. You know, he's just following spirit and following what he feels is right, and he's willing to go to war for this country if he's called. He's following divine guidance, and so are many of his fellow soldiers. So for each one of us, you know, what are we following? I just want to keep an eye on the time. So that's one piece of, you know, my perception of why we're honoring fallen soldiers or soldiers who have come back and been injured in some way, you know, physically, emotionally, you know, oftentimes for life. The other piece of that is, you know, if we lose a loved one, especially in war, and war can even happen on the street, right? You know, when gangs and whatnot and violence among neighbors, how do we reconcile that within ourselves? And I think the other piece of that is to really deal with our own feelings and our own emotions. A big part of that is grief, abandonment, anger, loneliness, and that requires our own healing, doesn't it? And, you know, in religious science and science of mind, we say that there is no healing, right? Because healing is only our connection with the divine and our recognition of that. So if we can do that, we're healed. So even if, you know, I see an atrocity, if I am in full and total awareness, if I am an enlightened being, I can remain in that place of very high vibrational consciousness. Most of us have to maybe do a little spiritual work or maybe a lot of spiritual work to process feelings, especially when we lose someone or we see violence, we see unjust actions against others. Most of us have to really go within ourselves and remember our truth and remember the truth of the so-called perpetrators. So what I would like to do is just do a little process here. You know, these past 2 weeks, there have been a couple of people who have passed in our community unexpectedly. I'm going to say beings. You know, there's a tremendous amount of processing that goes along with that. And it is a process. It often doesn't happen overnight, but it goes to the core of our being. And that I say that in a twofold way because from our human beingness, it goes to our core of our feelings of connection with others, right? If it's a child or even if it's an animal or a pet that has profoundly influenced our life, whomever it is. The other piece of it is just the connection, again, which I just talked about. So what I'd like to do, I'd like to do just a short process. It's meditative, And it came from a Lakota tradition of healing of grief. And so I'm going to invite each of us. June, I was wondering, could you turn some of these lights off? It's very Walmart-y feeling in here at the moment. Could try to have a little more atmosphere. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. You can turn one of them on later again. Thank you. And so, let's just notice our breath. And notice the stillness in this room. And as we have our awareness on our breath, we just feel that stillness moving out of our body. And we can likewise feel our connection to Mother Earth. Right? We can feel it through our feet, through the chair we're sitting on. We know that the foundation of this building touches Mother Earth and energetically goes all the way deep down into the core of this source of our life here on this planet. So we can just have that recognition and hold it while we're noticing our breath, knowing that our breath is bringing us in connection with the wider multiverse. And that includes all of the planets and the stars, and certainly the sun, the source of all of our energy and our vitality here on Earth. We just take another moment to feel the stillness of all of that. Knowing that we are aware beings. We are awareness. I am that. And in that awareness, I honor and I respect my own humanness. And I hold my awareness in my heart. I feel it. And we're going to take a little walk. It's a short walk. We're going to imagine ourselves in a place. And the place is out in nature. We're in an open field, but we're near the edge of a forest. And the forest is deep and the forest is green and it's cool and it's majestic and magnificent. So as we're sitting in this field on the edge of the forest, we feel called to just stand up and turn around and enter the forest. Walking peacefully, there's actually a path that exists through the forest. So we walk through the forest and we notice what we notice, but we remember to be within ourselves in stillness, in that heart space, that portal to all that is. And we're walking, and there might be leaves under our feet and brambles. There may be a bird's nest up in the tree, or a squirrel or other animal may be scurrying along the path. We may sight other animals as well. Whatever comes to us, we just keep walking gently and peacefully along the path. Breathing, feeling our connection to the earth. It's a direct connection. Where we are barefoot. I am barefoot walking on Mother Earth. I am one with the trees, with all of the animals. I am in my heart. And as I'm walking, I notice that the trees are getting thinner. And the forest is actually opening up and light starts filtering in, more light. And I actually come to the edge of the forest, the other side of the forest. And here I am. And lo and behold, there's a beautiful beach in front of me. There's beautiful dark black sand, not white sand, but it's dark and it's black and it's rich. And the ocean is coming up onto the beach. Gently, it's a gentle wave that is coming up in successive waves, and the tide is actually coming in. And I'm just standing there watching the beauty and feeling the rhythm, the presence of the divine in all of this. The forest and the animals and the beautiful onyx black sand of the beach and the crystal blue water. And as I'm in this feeling of presence, I notice that along the edge of the water, the sand does not meet the water directly, for there are stones, medium-sized, very smooth stones along the edge of the water. I'm just feeling that presence. And these stones are not embedded in the sand. They're actually sitting on top of the sand. So I can pick them up. So as I'm standing here on the beach in front of these stones and on the edge of the water, I'm remembering that today is Memorial Day. And I am remembering and I am honoring all of those who have served my country, which stands for freedom and justice, peace and compassion. And in remembering that, feelings come up right in my heart. There may be one feeling, there may be a number of feelings, and we can put names on them if we like, but they could be sadness, they could be grief, and it could be very deep, could be very old, could be very profound sadness or grief. Could be anger coming up, again, very strong, very deep, very entrenched in my being. Could be feelings of anxiety or fear. When I think of departed loved ones. When I think of injustice in the world and those who have served and died actually, or have come back to live amongst us, wounded in some level or multiple levels of their being. And I hold that in my heart, and I just recognize my own feelings about all of this. And I hear the lapping of the waves coming across those stones, hitting the beach, soft, gentle waves. And I am inspired to pick up some stones. And I happen to have a satchel over my shoulder. And I feel inspired to pick up a stone for each one of my feelings that I'm experiencing in this moment. So we're going to take a minute or two and just bend down and pick up some stones, one for each of our feelings. At least one. As we pick up the stones, we can feel the heaviness of them. They're not big, huge stones. They fit in our hand, but they still have a weight to them. And we put them in our satchel, and we feel that weight pulling us down, don't we? But we continue to pick up stones, one or two or more, for each emotion. And just take a moment, straighten ourselves back up with our satchel over our shoulder. We notice the water again coming in, and we feel the healing energy and the presence of the water coming in to really kiss the stones on the ground and to kiss the sand underneath it. Feel that healing presence. And I feel guided to just take one of my stones and give it back to the water. Just toss it. Toss it however you'd like to toss it. With a lot of force and a lot of energy, or very gently. Knowing that as I give the stone that is holding that emotion that I'm feeling, as I give it back to the water, I'm feeling the healing energy and the connection and the love of divine presence. That all is one and all is right with the world. All good, all God. And then I take another one of my stones and I hold it in my hand and I give it back to the ocean. Feeling the same release of that emotion, the healing of the water, bathing my soul in peace and in love. And feeling the lifting of that weight within my own being. And we just take another minute and throw all of our stones back in for each of the emotions that we felt in this process. Now, as we're finishing up, we notice, even though we're very light, there is still one stone in our bag, in our satchel, that is over our shoulder. We take that stone and we hold it in both of our hands. And we hold that stone in remembrance and in honor of our feelings that we have given forth to the universe. The feelings of grief and of sadness and of loss of our loved ones, of anxiety and anger, whatever those feelings were for you. We feel the release of them, having given them back to the ocean, which we know is the presence of the divine. And we're holding on to this one stone, and it is in remembrance and it is in honor of ourselves as emanations of the divine presence. Walking the earth in human form, yet remembering that I am the truth. As Jesus said, I am the truth and the light and the way. Right? And as I am that, so are you. So are all beings. We are all one. We are all all presence. We are all this one life that is the divine. So we hold on to this stone in gratitude, deep, profound appreciation for the divine, for ourselves, and for all that is, and the perfection of the unfolding of all that is, no matter what it looks like. And so we put that stone back into our satchel, and we take a breath. We thank the ocean. We thank the stones on the ground and the beautiful, dark, sandy beach. And we take a breath, and we turn around, and we walk back across the beach, through the forest, noticing a joy and a lightness in our being, a relief and a release in the surrender of the burdens that we were carrying, the emotional burdens of sadness and whatever else it was there. We just know that we are back in harmony and peace and unconditional love, which is the divine. And we now have come to the other edge of the forest, and we are back in the field. And we just stand at the edge of the forest and we look around us. We take a deep, deep breath of gratitude and appreciation and a full and complete release. And we let everything go. And we say, thank you, and so it is. And so we take a moment to just slowly come back into the present and open our eyes. We can wiggle our toes and feel our feet on the floor connecting to the earth underneath this building. Feel our presence with the oneness in, around, and through us, through our breath, and just through our being. So thank you. So it is. Okay.
Check the sound. I'm not hearing my guitar. You guys hear that okay?
Yes, I am here to love. Yes, I am here to serve. Yes, I am here to be the love of God. Yes, I am here to love. Yes, I am here to serve. Yes, I am here to be the love of God, my God. And I know forevermore that I am loved. Yes, I know forevermore that I am loved. Yes, I am here to love. Yes, I am here to serve. Yes, I am here to be the love of God. Yes, I am here to love. Yes, I am here to serve. Yes, I am here to be the love of God, my God. Oh God, my God. Oh God, my God.
No problem. Woo. Thank you, Sharon. Beautiful. So now is the offertory part of our service. I want everybody to close your eyes and take a moment and feel the prosperity of the divine. Because that's where all of it comes from. It doesn't come from our bank account. It doesn't come from the government. It doesn't come from anywhere but from the divine. So we stand in that knowingness because the divine is the giver and we receive. And the law of circulation, it flows in and it flows out. Prosperity flows in and it flows out, and it flows in and it flows out. So it is a circle. It's circulation. But the bottom line is that we need to know and stand in that God is our source. We need to open up to that infinite amount of prosperity. Because there is no pie. There is no peace. There is no little bit. There is infinite abundance. Infinite prosperity. And it is yours by divine right, by divine love, by divine givingness. So I ask you to open up to that knowingness, to that constancy, to that consciousness of abundance, of prosperity. It flows to us all. And it is up to us to open to it. Because the flow is constantly flowing. So I want you to relax into that feeling of abundance, that feeling of prosperity. Remember that feeling. I want you to take that feeling out from today and for the rest of your life. I want you to feel that feeling. And when fear comes in and doubt and lack comes in, God is my source of well-being. God is my source of prosperity. And it is mine by divine right. So open to it. So I ask you to give from that space. The space of knowing that you are an abundant, prosperous being from the divine. So let go of the fear, let go of the doubt, and stand in that prosperity. And know that this, CCL, is our base, is our consistency, is our community. We come here week after week, just enjoy. We get to see each other and commune and love each other and get loved back. So give from the space of the divine. And let go and let God. So it is. And this is the affirmation of what I just talked about.
So if you would share a blessing of the offering. Thank you, God, for this abundance that is mine to share. I bless this gift and give it to thee in gratitude and joy, knowing that as I give, I do receive.
The law of circulation. I am so blessed.
I
am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. So to let you know, we are giving an echo, a workshop coming up the beginning, tomorrow night. The 1st it starts. An abundance, manifesting money class, for a 5-week class. If you don't have enough money, take this class. If you're worried about money, take this class. If you want to just be abundant, take this class. So giving thanks for these beautiful gifts, this prosperity that comes from the divine through us to the Center for Conscious Living. We give thanks for the divine's love, the divine's support, the divine's abundance, the divine's givingness. The divine doesn't need to have thanks from us for the giving, because that is the divine's job. That is what the divine does, loves and gives. So we give thanks to the divine, knowing that we are prosperous, that we are supported, and that we are unconditionally loved. And together we say, and so it is.
Okay, so a few announcements before we close. The Manifest More Money class. Reverend Paul was very eloquent in introducing it, but this was a wonderful opportunity that came to CCL from a religious science minister in Silicon Valley, actually. She's the minister at a Silicon Valley religious science church, and her passion is manifesting money, and her personal business is coaching people about how to manifest money, and she, in her ministry, has brought that to New Thought churches. And when she contacted us, we thought this was just perfect, because CCL itself is in a place of transformation and change and expansion, and that includes our finances. And I am personally myself, and I know many of you are as well. I mean, it's just part of life that we want to be abundant, and we want to just be peaceful with our relationship with money and meeting all our bills and our expenses, and what we want to do in joy and creativity in our life, which often costs money. So I urge you to take this class, because it's really rooted in practical steps. It's based on spiritual principles of the law of circulation and the principle of divine abundance, and but it's also very practical. It's a how-to class. So it's a 5-week class. It starts June 1st, and I have spoken to Reverend Cheryl, and she is just a dynamo. She is so powerful and so passionate and enthusiastic, and I know you're going to love her, because I love her just in a brief phone call. And I know several of you are in this class already, and one of you has even gifted a scholarship to someone else here in our community. So, those are expressions of deep commitment and connection and acknowledgement of infinite abundance, right? Infinite opportunity. So I urge you, as Reverend Paul said, if you're worried about your finances, and if you're worried about the tuition, you can overcome that, because I have done that many times in my life, and it has always been to my benefit. Because it's really about changing our consciousness and being aligned with divine presence, and then our finances flow. We have another workshop coming up with Reverend Michelle Whittington, and she is the executive director of Anton. She is a positive intelligence coach, and she ran her own religious science church in Arizona for many, many years, and she is also my Anton mentor as well, and she is giving CCL the gift of a workshop, and she's not taking a facilitator's fee. So, the name of the class of the workshop is make your mind your best friend instead of your worst enemy. So we've been talking about this a lot the last few months, is paying attention to your thoughts, and your thoughts really direct your feelings, and then that affects our behavior, and it affects outcomes in our life. So we're starting right at the root of it. The workshop, it's a Saturday workshop. It's 3 hours, Saturday, June 27th, 11 to 2 p.m. on Zoom only. I believe the cost is $45, and it's a direct donation to CCL. Oh, and by the way, the Make More Money, you for both of these, the class and the workshop, you can go onto our website, newthoughtsccl.org, and register there. The Make More Money class is $297. A very significant portion of that is donated back to CCL from Reverend Cheryl. So you're also supporting this community as well as yourself. So two great opportunities coming up. And just a quick thank you to Reverend Jerry Troyer. He was here last week, and many of you in this room were here for his talk and attended his workshop, and it was very dynamic. It was a lot of sharing, so I just want to thank you all and express gratitude. He came all the way here from San Diego to be specifically with us at through the kindness of Reverend Paul. It was a gift from Reverend Paul. So thank you, Reverend Paul. Just a reminder about the Color America Beautiful with the Power of Kindness Challenge. CCL is collecting documentation of 250 acts of kindness. Holly Myers is spearheading that, and it culminates on July 4th, and we are in the process of collecting documentation of 250 acts of kindness. There's a box in the back. You can fill out a form about an act of kindness you yourself did, or you observed another person offering to someone. So I encourage you to just go back there and fill out the form. 250 is a lot, and that's in recognition of our 250th anniversary of our country's 250th birthday. You can call the office or send an email to the office, and Deborah will send it to the box. I don't know, Holly, have you received any from that? Yeah. Oh, sorry. For those of us on Zoom, Jules just asked about how those of you on Zoom can participate since you don't have access to the physical box here in the room. And the way to do that is to send an email to CCL. Our email is on our website, as well as our phone number. One quick reminder, prayer. Prayer is very powerful, and I hold prayer session every Tuesday through Friday, 12 to 1 o'clock. And if anything is on your mind, anything at all, and you'd like to come in for prayer treatment, please feel free. Again, the Zoom link is on our website. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your service. We're running a little late, but I just want to thank every person here who is in service today. Many of you here are here every week, setting up our physical space, really managing our media team, which includes Zoom, and supporting Sharon in the music and the audiovisual here, and just managing this physical place and the refreshments, including this beautiful altar, which Janine created. And thank you, Janine, for the reading. Oh, you did it today. Thank you, Holly. Okay. I thought I saw your name there. Okay. Oh, you switched. Okay. All right. I go by what's on the, we have a chart. Anyway, thank you to Sharon. Beautiful, inspired music, always in tune with the theme. Thank you. And just thank you to all of us. Happy Memorial Day. Let's all circle up.
Can't even hear it back here. It's just, I don't know what happened. just hard on your shoulders. I just don't want you guys to be hurting on my account. All right, are we ready? Yes. Just sounds like it's not there, guys. Sorry. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our family, all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
So let's take a nice deep breath and breathing in this whole entire service. Breathing in that beautiful message from Rev Christina, the vessel through which the divine speaks. Giving thanks for all of us being here. It would not be the same without any one of us. Giving thanks for this service that guides us and supports us through this beautiful week, this beautiful life that we live. Giving thanks for the divine prosperity and the divine love. Giving thanks for all the good and more good of the divine that is ours by divine right. It's our birthright. So we let go of everything and anything else and feel and know that presence, and knowing that we are completely guided, completely supported, and completely loved by the divine. And so it is.
So it is.
Okay, so please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
It is this thing called life. Life is in my body. Life is in my mind. Life is in my feelings. Life is in all of my activities. I receive it. I share it. I am it. And I accept it. How do I accept it? Just the way that it is. Thank you, life. In accepting all of these gifts, we say yes.